Hi, and welcome back to the Vuvuzela. Today we're chatting to two Umdloti locals, Pierre and Brian, who are going to be telling us about Umdloti Smart Village. Welcome, gents. How are you?
Hello, Mandy. How are you?
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Very kind of you.
Tell us a little bit more about, obviously, how the Umdloti UIP has worked and the transformation.
Thanks for the time, Mandy. Thank you for having us. The UIP has been running for about 10 years, and it is a voluntary-based project. So our funds every month was by donations. And over the last 10 years, we did very well. We had nice growth, but unfortunately, it is not sustainable. And we have seen in the last 2 to 3 years that our funding model is not working. I mean, I think one of the biggest problems with that is that the better it goes, the lesser people want to pay. It's actually such a cliche that people need to have a break-in before they start considering paying again. So I've been for the last 3 years saying very often that we should change it to a more solid model where people are contracted to payments, and I've met Brian in the process, and Brian has been a very big part of the Ratepayers Association, and after I spoke to him about this project, he was very interested in it, and Brian came on and helped me with putting this whole thing together. So that is the UIP. The UIP it's unfortunately not going to happen, and we've moved over to Smart Village. In fact, the 1st of April was when the Smart Village started. And Brian, you can tell them more about the Smart Village.
Well, I think importantly we used the same basic structure. So the non-profit company, which used to be called Umdloti Improvement Project, is now called Umdloti Village, NPC. And the difference is that instead of donations, we have subscriptions. So we ask people to commit up front. And the whole purpose of the exercise is to fulfill their wildest dreams in terms of the future of Umdloti as a self-contained precinct, if you like, which is founded on strong security, of course, that's the foundation. But in addition to that, we're moving towards the self-management model for villages and towns, which is happening all over the world. The officialdom, bureaucrats, frankly, just don't have the wherewithal to look after precincts with the inequality in our land. Rates and taxes are being directed to housing and water and electricity. So villages like Umdloti really have to take care of themselves. And we start with a strong security base, and we're calling it a digitally gated estate. So no walls, no gates, but camera surveillance, CCTV camera surveillance covering the entire borderline of the greater Umdloti area. But more importantly, we'll have a precinct management team, a professional team in place, whereas previously we were reliant on a whole lot of volunteers. Bless them, they did astonishing work over a decade or more. But it's grinding work, when you're taking 20 calls a day from people who are worried about streetlights or potholes or litter or monkeys or whatever. So we're professionalizing. Obviously it costs a bit more than the old model. So we've had to go back to the community and seek their support for a subscription-based entity. Obviously the lockdown didn't help because we were launching on the 1st of April, and that has slowed our progress a little bit, but we've done quite well. We reached 65% of budget in April, much the same in May, which means that probably by August, September this year, we should have the model up and working, so that we'll have a dedicated fibre ring throughout the village. Start off with about 50 CCTV cameras, but our end game is about 80.
Tell me, what does this actually mean for the residents?
I think let's look at the resident, the normal life they're having. They're walking on the beach. That is the life of Umdloti. You take your animals on a leash, please, and you walk with them across to the beaches. You take your children, you walk your little baby in a pram, you know, and that is the Umdloti life. And we want to make sure that that's safe, you know, and that's clean, you know, and that cleanliness and safety is something that we can only do by funding it ourselves. And Umdloti is in such a beautiful geographical spot that we have one entrance and one exit. We're surrounded by beautiful mountains or dunes, forests. It's unbelievable. It is just so beautifully set that your life can be amazing. So a resident, we cannot guarantee safety. When I'm saying we, the government cannot guarantee the safety. The cleanliness of the beaches all over South Africa and around, I mean, we all know it's really not good. So if you want to make your area safe and clean, we're going to have to do it ourselves. And that is what's happening now. It's already much better. The beaches are much cleaner, but it's all self-funded. It's funded by ourselves.
Wow, and you know what, I'm just looking at this and going, this is a model that can be adapted in so many other little beautiful areas. What's in it for you, Pierre, and you, Brian? What's in it for you?
Well, we're residents, so you know, we're worried about security, we're worried about clean and green, and this whole COVID thing, unfortunately, just escalates the risk because the inequality in our society is just growing, and sadly with that will go an increase in crime. So our timing could not be more perfect to upgrade our security presence. But it's much more than that, because what we're trying to do is build a caring organization with Smart Village, and Pierre and I are purely volunteers. I think our guiding philosophy would be captured in that whole essence of servant leadership, and which I've heard described as follow me, I'm right behind you. So that's why we're doing it as residents, and because I think somebody's got to take charge of this thing and hopefully make it work. But as soon as we've got our membership up to our critical mass, which will be about 60% of the village, we are then intending to stand down. We're part of a task team, and the village membership will then elect a board of directors, and they will take it forward, we hope.
Absolutely wonderful. I'm loving every minute of what I'm hearing, and I'm sure that so many other little areas or little communities are going to be listening to our interview and going, sure, you know what, we need to do something of this nature. So well done to both of you and your teams. This is a non-rewarding situation for either of you, but your love for Umdloti is just showcased in leaps and bounds. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And to our viewers out there, we will be sharing details on how you can find out more about the Umdloti Smart Village. Till next time.